What's the mantra? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I think Anheuser-Busch has figured that out totally and fully at this point in time. Once again, shout out to Ollie London for just bringing us this very obvious piece of information. But Coors stock, okay, the Coors parent company, don't even know about that. I don't even like beer like that. All I know is, if you checked out the previous video, I also laid this out as well. I'm a concerned observer. I can see the way that society is going. I'm not a big fan of it, even though I don't have skin in the game. I've never drank a day in my life. I don't have any kids that are being, targeted by these big corporations in order to be indoctrinated into a life of alcoholism and transgenderism. I'm just somebody who sees a problem that's going on out there and wants to draw attention to it before it's too late. But I also wish I would have seen all of this stuff coming down the pipeline, because I would have bought Coors stock, to be completely honest, because it's up since April 1st, 8.8%. That's pretty significant. Okay, that's even better. Okay, after rival Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch, the parent company, obviously, dropped 5.2%, losing. Okay, $6 billion in company value over the fallout to the Dylan Mulvaney partnership. The rival beer brand, Mueller Coors, likely captured a large chunk of the customers who ditched Bud Light in recent weeks. Yeah, it's the same thing with vehicles. I'm far more familiar with domestic auto brands. So if Chevy decided to, do a brand new Silverado campaign by seeing how many, 1500s they could fit in somebody's ass, you would see Ford take a much larger chunk of the market off of that, and Dodge would pick up a couple other, but only 70 IQ individuals drive Dodges. It's a joke, sort of. Coors was trading at $51.68 per share at the end of last month, and has now risen to $56.25 per share. What did we start at? About 75, and then it just dropped to about 70, or I'm sorry, not 75, 65, and then went down to 61 for Anheuser-Busch. It's not great, and the prospects, they just continue to get lampooned, because yes, yesterday we talked about, at least briefly, the super patriotic, we're Bud heavy, and we support the flag, and you guys like horses and landmarks and stuff, right? Just forget that our sister brand, light beer, they're pushing transgenderism, but we got horses and big giant dicks over here. You like that stuff, right? Everybody's just mocking you and laughing at you, and it's like, we seen your response, and it wasn't really, all that great. So until you actually walk all that stuff back, but we know you're not, so we're fine with Coors, man, because I don't know, I think they're both similarly priced, and the best thing that can happen from this is local breweries and maybe some other people are getting some chances off the back of this, because the suffering's not going to end for Bud Light. Check this out as well. A Bud Light owner of Anheuser-Busch is now accused of racist and sexist hiring practices. Like I said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That prioritized minorities in complaint filed by Trump advisors' legal group during the Dylan Mulvaney firestorm. Oh, you just love to see it. All of your inclusion is finally coming back to bite you in the ass. Oh, well. Anheuser-Busch is facing a civil rights complaint related to the programs aimed towards hiring and providing scholarships to women and minorities. Love it. Because, okay, this is going to take a more technical definition. So what exactly is a woman? Somebody who identifies as a woman? Or are we talking about an adult human female? Interesting. America First Legal, which is led by senior members of the Trump administration, Stephen Miller specifically. I think that's the right Miller. There's so many Millers that work for the Trump organization. Sent a letter to the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission alleging that the world's largest brewing company is engaged in discriminatory hiring practices. The group claimed that companies are using the cloak of equity and proudly discriminate based on race, color, national origin, and sex in their employment practices. This is the same type of lawsuit the places like Harvard and Yale end up getting, because they actively discriminate against Asians who are trying to get enrolled at Ivy League schools. They have their requisite grades. They have all of the appropriate extracurricular activities that are on there, but because the Asians kind of overperform when it comes to doing well in schoolwork, and we have enough there. It's just, if your last name wasn't Chong and it was Chavez, you might have an opportunity, but yeah, Orientals need not apply. But now we're seeing that in big business, and people are starting to fight back. This is the only way that it changes, man. Legal intervention. Because either it changes for the better, or we get firm definitions so that we know the game that we're playing based on the confines of the rules that we are engaged in. The group claimed that companies, yes, use a cloak of equity. The accusations come amid a firestorm surrounding the transgender social media star Dylan Mulvaney promoting Bud Light and Nike and Hilton Hotels, KitchenAid, so many other stupid things. AFL, the president and CEO of former Trump senior advisor Stephen Miller, I got it right, sent a complaint letter to a St. Louis, Missouri's office of EEOC requesting an investigation into Anheuser-Busch's programs. Now, see, Dylan looks slightly Asian in that one. Maybe the discrimination claim just isn't founded quite yet. One of the Leadership Accelerator program, accelerationism, sweet, which advertises that it provides formal mentorship, executive interaction, and leadership development curriculum for those who identify with historically underrepresented groups as they join our organization in a full-time capacity. It only encourages people of Black, Native American, and Latino origins to apply. Yeah, it sounds pretty racist to me. This is not a regular corporate program. Rather, the company describes their role as focusing on hiring the next generation of leaders within the North American Sustainability and Procurement Department. The AFL letter reads, in other words, it is a fast-track program to executive leadership positions at Anheuser-Busch, and it is limited to candidates based on race. The pro forma equal opportunity employer language at the end of the posting does mask the company's discriminatory intent and purpose. Anheuser-Busch also advertises a race-based scholarship and internship program under Budweiser in partnership with the United Negro College Fund that supports 25 Black college students interested in the brewing industry. Yeah, where you got your Bud Light, motherfucker? AFL alleges the civil rights complaint that the program are unlawful because Anheuser-Busch is a publicly traded corporation. Oh, we love our little loopholes that are out there. That is engaged in discriminating against certain ethnicities and races when it comes to jobs and programs it offers. The evidence is that Anheuser-Busch is knowingly, intentionally, and unlawfully discriminating based on race, color, national origin, and sex with respect to employment and job training opportunities. Because it was specifically for Black, Native American, and Latino origins at play. It actually does cut out the Asian population. It's like, what are you guys doing? They're really good at running businesses. What the fuck? You guys are kneecapping yourself. AFL wants EEOC to open a civil rights investigation of Anheuser-Busch's systemic and discriminatory hiring, promoting, and job training employment practices. All of this could have been avoided if you didn't just delve into stupidity, man. But, hey, man, you're here. You are here. You want to discriminate against stop Asian hate, for God's sakes. But I just gave it for granted, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. You're just kicking out white people who made your business successful to begin with. But yeah, don't worry about that. They're European. Nah, don't worry about that. But they're offering scholarships and stuff like that. Yeah, that's interesting because when I was in high school, I had all the requisite grades in order to... I wanted to be an eye doctor, for God's sakes, but there's one eye doctor school in all of Canada. It's in Ontario somewhere. But it was also, because it's the only one, incredibly pricey, like mid-tier, colleges in the United States pricey. So I would have needed some sort of a scholarship because as much as I do well for myself, I couldn't flip the bill all on my own. But hey, because there were a couple of girls on my same level, one of them happened to be Asian as well, and she went on to be a doctor because, of course, they got all the scholarships, and your boy, who's only a quarter native, not quite Métis, so couldn't quite qualify for any of the other, discriminatory endowments or scholarship policies that were out there. But no use crying over spilt milk, and I wouldn't be operating this poppin' channel that I'm having a lot of fun with. So, oh well, there's just going to be some bum-ass eyes out there. Oh well, but the good Lord gave you two. But yeah, This one little 48-second spot causes $6 billion in losses, creates a bad stench over the entirety of a brand that used to just have a impartial or maybe even loved persona to the public at large, but it did a lot of good by exposing a lot of terrible policies. A shout out to Alyssa Gordon Hershide and her idea that we need to transition Bud Light away from their Friday persona. They just don't look through any of her history, which we've done as well. That just shows her shotgunning. Was that Heineken? Wouldn't even support her future brand, or doing shots out of condoms. Oh, maybe she's probably lining up for, if you guys watched the other video earlier, there was a Dylan Mulvaney clone who was trying to put a condom over their entire arm. Got pretty successful, but if you want to go get nauseated, go check out that video. But this little 48-second clip, I don't even know if we've watched this, but I think that's a good way to end.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I
No.
got some Bud Lights for us. So
Well, you would think with those man hands, you should be able to carry, 5 cans of beer.
I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but
Is March Madness just like a regular March, but just for trans people?
it turns out it has something to do with sports, and I'm not sure
Something to do with sports. Light beer. Light beer is loved by college kids.
exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate.
Is it now?
This month I celebrated
Okay, did that dude even drink that shit? I'm not even convinced at that point in time.
my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly
Didn't it start out as girlhood?
the
Interesting.
best gift ever, a can with
Oh my
my face
God.
on it. Check
They gave me a can for my can, but unfortunately...
out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya! Cheers! Go team! Whatever team you love, I love too. Okay. Love ya. Okay, break a leg.
Yeah, you can actually see... Oh my god, you can actually see that there's alcohol right at the top, and the lipstick isn't even messed up. Yo, that dude didn't even drink any of that beer. Holy! That's what about $50,000 buys you. That and... I don't know, a wet tank top and the other, bath one. I know we watched that one, and I think we're all worse off for having done that. So I'm sure tomorrow's going to come around. There's going to be something equally stupid coming out of Anheuser-Busch camp, and can't wait for it, because all this shit is so bonkers. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.